What is up, Buckeye Nation? Ohio State football with Scarlet and Gray right here on YouTube. Your host and co-host, well, just co-host, plural. Floco, Florida Corey from Florida here. Johnny Bullet from Ohio. Co-founders, brothers from other mothers. I don't know how to say it plural. I've never said it plural in my life until just now. So, Johnny, what's up, my buddy?
Hey, man, it's good to be back with you, buddy. Got a little adverse injury report for Buckeye Nation. I'm oddly,
Make sure you stretch for this report, okay?
and read Tom Brady's book about pliability. Just do it. Just do it.
He's still going strong at 45.
Better than we could say for our Buckeyes.
Yeah, goodness gracious, man. We need to get Tom Brady as a new strength coach, I think, at Ohio State.
Yes, or at least his trainer, Alex Guerrero, or whatever.
Somebody, yeah. It's like, but guys, come on, subscribe for Buckeye playoff coverage. We are in the playoffs. We have a relevant game coming up December 31st against an incredible opponent. It should be a great game. We're looking forward to it. We're going to have playoff coverage all month for free. You don't even have to pay anything for it. Isn't that awesome? We appreciate you guys. Well, we appreciate you guys. Subscribe, share the channel, like, and comment on the videos. We appreciate you as always. Anyway, for the most real comments, this can't be a joke. I mean, real comments on this video, a free S&G mug to that person. And they are awesome mugs. I mean, it's like if you need that cup of Joe in the morning, who doesn't? If you're above 30, you need coffee in the morning. Let's be real. And what better way to have a cup of coffee in those cold, wintry days in a scarlet and grape mug? Is there any better way to do it, Johnny?
No. Help us grow the channel with the comments. Help yourself with it. Tastes better out of that mug. It tastes better out of that mug.
There is flavor enhancers within the mug.
Even if you drink it black like me, it's just better. Just do it. Do it now. Corey, they're not here to talk about coffee, although it is wonderful. What's not so wonderful today? What's worse than coffee?
It's definitely not as good as coffee. This is terrible news. I was talking to people through the last week or so about this. I thought JSN was going to play. I really did. I was like, I think he's going to give it a go. And then he announces, nah, I'm good.
I heard most of the news I heard was, hey, if we're in the playoff, it's optimistic. This was like Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, night. I think he's going to try to come back if it ends up being a playoff, which it looks like it's going to be a playoff against that team up north. And they're like, yeah, Jackson's really excited about coming back against that team up north. They talked like that, and when they
like
texted
he was the
me,
first time.
they talked, and then they drew Georgia, and it was feeling a little sore. I don't know.
I don't think I have enough time to stretch.
I'm good. I'm good. Georgia?
I got a Charlie horse or something in there.
Yeah.
Our masseuse is terrible.
Yeah. I don't know, Corey. It's news that this is what makes it hard to just say what you really want to say. We don't actually know. Nobody but the kid knows how bad it really is on his leg currently.
Of course.
But I understand if you're out there and you work a hard job and you go to work when you don't feel like it for a lot less money, et cetera, and you say, look, I've been watching sports my whole life. I've seen injuries in this nature, and it never take this long. If you said that, I'd be like, fair. I'm not saying you're 100% right, but that's a fair take, right?
I agree with your son. I'm not sitting here saying like we obviously know what's wrong, but my guess is this. I'm going to take a stab at it, Johnny, and I'm going to get us in some trouble probably. But we live for that. I think what happened is like he doesn't know if he can get to quite 100% by the game. Because hamstrings are lingering, and I'm sure he's been testing it several times throughout the season, and he just keeps tweaking it and whatever. He's come back for a couple games and tweaked it, and leaves the game. But then he's got NFL scouts looking at him. The whole nation's looking at him against Georgia. And then he goes against Georgia and doesn't perform as well as he would like because those are NFL caliber players. All of a sudden, the NFL takes a look at him and is like, maybe I don't want to draft him because he went against Georgia and he didn't play very well, not realizing the hamstring is probably not 100%. I think he's like, well, I take the risk. I could lose money on this. I could lose future money on this. I don't know. Granted, it could literally just be what he said. Doctors said I'm not going to be able to, but I mean, at the same time, I'm starting to think there's probably a lot more to it. And look,
you know what's really bad, Corey, is that when you said you didn't make a joke at all. You said maybe he's telling the truth about what the doctor said, and I started laughing.
You can't trust anybody anymore. So to say I'm disappointed is a mild statement. I'm not happy about it, but again, I still wish him well. I want him to go succeed in the NFL, of course, but I'm going to ask you an off the cuff question we didn't prepare for, Johnny. If you're an NFL GM and you need a a WR1, is he your first pick in the draft?
It's not. It doesn't feel nearly like it felt this time last year. Or
last year it was a set. I was like, yeah, that's my dude right there.
Yeah, I would just be like, put his name in the hat and cut up the film with everybody. I want to see. To answer your question, I think it's wide open because I don't know about him now.
That's why. Yeah, it's not a talent issue. It's not even a character or anything like that issue. It's I haven't seen you healthy as a number one option issue. Other than one game, I guess
it's been so long since you put anything up. Yeah, one game gets depleted to secondary. And it's been so long since you put anything up. How hurt are you? And that goes to me, Corey. I was thinking maybe adversity, maybe that the report wasn't 100% true about doctor just says I can't do it in a different way, but still like not giving the athlete a ton of credit. So yours was really interesting. Mine was, as someone that's had a hamstring issue, one of those things it's not catastrophic, but it just sticks around.
Yeah, it does.
I am like thinking that he is saying, I mean, I could play ball right now if I wanted to, and certainly in a month. How sore will I be? I have to get myself in shape on the bike or something.
Yeah.
And then I have to play a little bit in the game. And if I push hard through the game, at some point, it's going to be more sore and set me back probably a few weeks in rehab. And I don't know that I'll be 100% at combine or pro day.
I think it's plausible. I think you can actually combine both our theories and say it's plausible.
I could play, but between the risk for re-injury and just thinking it might set me back a pinch, I just not going to do it. That's how I took it.
Well, since we both have our theories on it, and neither one of us completely buy the whole "my doctor said not to do it" alone, but I mean that's a vague comment anyway. He's not going to. I mean, he does. And by the way, he doesn't owe it to anybody other than Ryan Day and his teammates about what the real deal is. But what are you as a Buckeye fan? What is his legacy at Ohio State to you?
A really awesome player. A guy that when you go, this play, oh man, he was so good. One of those guys. I don't put him up there. I mean, I'm not old enough to see to know some of these players, but I certainly am smart enough to respect my elders and know to pay homage to a great career when I hear one. Mm-hmm. I don't remember Chris Carter, David Boston, although I see the numbers and it's ridiculous. Joey Galloway, Terry Glenn, mm-hmm. And then recently, I think you put Olave and Wilson up in those, oh my goodness, this is tier 1 all-time OSU category. I don't put him with the GOATs. I put him with an awesome player. You mentioned a Devin Smith. He was awesome. Terry McLaurin, He was awesome. You know what I mean? I kind of like that. An awesome player, but I don't put him in tier 1.
Yeah, his numbers would suggest he's tier 1, but it doesn't feel like he's tier 1, if that makes sense. And maybe it's just because of how his career kind of fizzled at Ohio State because of the injury. I mean, he had 5 catches this year, barely played. It's like you're lost from memory. Not to mention, you see what you're seeing here. Is I'm going to go on to the next topic. Is you're seeing guys like Marvin Harrison Jr. and Emeka Egbuka as well, for what it's worth. Ascend, right? And
some 13-year-old's going to comment how JSN's better than Chris Carter or something. Terry
Glenn, who's that? So. David Boston. I'm a Yankee. I don't care about David Boston. But anyway, yeah. But I mean, I'm right now. I'd say Marvin Harrison Jr. is WR1 at Ohio State, but it's close because Emeka's really good too.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm not trying to knock Emeka with that. I hope nobody
Right,
sees me
right,
that.
right.
But do you think Marvin Harrison? Now, I'm going to go ahead and answer yes because I've always said Marvin Harrison would leave Ohio State as known as the greatest receiver in Ohio State history. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. He's not there yet, but maybe he will, maybe he won't. Do you think he'll have a bigger legacy than JSN?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I would liken Marv's year this year to JSN's year last year. Not apples to apples, but I'm just saying it's like at that level of, oh
Mm-hmm.
man, that's really good. Um, all he has to do is play it all next year. He could be wide receiver too with 1,000 yards and probably have
Yeah,
a better legacy. So
the
yeah, I
career
mean,
numbers will be there for sure. Yeah.
yeah, I
Well,
think
him and Emeka
between the
both are going to have crazy career numbers at Ohio State.
yeah, I think Emeka's easy to forget for people. I don't know why he was a 5-star, but he's someone. If he just has another 1,000 next year, someone might say, yeah, maybe JSN might be a better player, but I think JSN's Rose Bowl, albeit with he had some favorable circumstances going his way,
Mm-hmm.
that's just going to it's like a bonus, like plus 10 XP. You know what I mean? That one game is just always going to kind of elevate him, and good for him. I mean, what an awesome thing to be said about you, that you had a night so magical, the moment so huge that it's just like it elevates your status.
I always did think it was interesting out of that ballyhooed wide receiver class with him and Fleming and others. I'm struggling to remember right now, but he's the one who kind of came out, and when he was kind of the afterthought commitment,
He didn't get his
JSN was.
5th star until really late.
Yeah, and he dominated his senior year of high school, and people said, "Wow, this guy is really good." I was like, maybe Hartline can spot talent. I don't know. I'm just saying. But anyway, let me ask you something. If you're Ryan Day, what's your opinion of this? Because I'm not talking about coach speak. I mean, coach speak is, well, we just really love the kid. We just want him to wish him the best. His health is most important. You know, it's next man. I mean, tell me that wasn't exactly what a coach would say. It's like, what do you think? Like a coach is sitting, he's like, I'm about to face Georgia. I need all hands on deck. I need help, you know. And our offense was not great against Michigan, and Michigan is not as good as Georgia. So I need to get this figured out. And having a number one type receiver, you know, back healthy would have been extremely helpful. But he's going to be gone now. What do you think Ryan Day is really in that room going? Don't get me wrong, he's not in there. You know, he's not doing that. But what do you think he's like? Like, what do you think when he hears that? He's like, okay, because it sounded like a couple days ago he didn't know for sure. So I don't know if this was like something we've known for weeks or whatever. You know.
Yeah. This is going to sound really vague, but I think this is going to put it in perspective. I think Ryan Day feels how you and I would feel, except he knows more information. So, however, you and I would feel with more information. Now, and I'm not saying like, well, if you have all the facts, you'd feel very strongly pro JSN, or if you had all the facts, you'd feel very strongly anti JSN. He quit on his team. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is you can just formulate a complete kind of, I don't love this, but I understand thought.
Mm-hmm.
And I think his understanding's probably a little better than ours because he has the information. Now, if the information is not kind of leaning in a way where he shouldn't play, yeah, I think Ryan probably has some stronger annoyed feelings. And but at the end, he's like, look, well, at least I know, and I got to get ready for this immense task in front of me. So,
But I mean, don't get me wrong. Go ahead.
Thank you. Love you. You did something great, but I got to go look at film.
And don't get me wrong, it might be the information is his doctor saying, "Look, you are in serious threat of re-injuring this thing badly, and then you can't do the combine." I mean, there's serious, like, you need more rest, whatever. I'm not going to discount that, but if it is something along the lines of like, "Oh man, I'm afraid to even tweak it once," and you know, maybe just I'm afraid to breathe on it, you know. And I mean, guys like the coaches, you can tell the way coaches talk about these circumstances. They're getting more and more annoyed with kids. Like, it's like you just don't have any commitment level. I'm not saying that's JSN. I'm just saying if like Johnny's scenario is accurate and like, or I mean, like is you know, if one of those scenarios is accurate where JSN is just kind of like, well, I just don't want to risk it, then I'm sure Ryan Day is kind of like, okay, well, you know, be blessed and we love you, but yeah, like I got something to do. Like he's just gonna go in the film room and go like, I'm sick of kids today. No, I'm sick. This is ridiculous. But I mean, that being said, again, we're saying it again and again and again. We don't have all the information. It really could be just that bad. We just don't know. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because I don't have any reason not to, but I'm sure there's some element of truth to what we were saying earlier about, well, I might not play as well, or I might just tweak it enough to not get to the combine. I'm sure there's some element of truth to that. It's because I would have to believe it would have to be something kind of serious to miss a chance of playing for the national title.
If it were an NFL playoff game, would he miss? Gun to your head right now.
There you go.
Now.
That's but he's being paid. Well, I guess technically in college you're being paid too, but
right. But there's like no fear of risk. Well, not no fear, but less fear of risk to the immediate effect.
Well, I'll be honest with you, there is no fear in the NFL because, like David Bakhtiari for the Green Bay Packers, you can sit out 2 years and make $120 million because you got to rehab a knee for 9 years, I guess. But that being said, I mean, I get he's probably trying to protect his draft status a little bit. Plus, it's probably not quite where he wants it. Okay, I'll say there's a mesh of the two there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, Johnny? You are old school. I'm old school. Did JSN make the right decision in your mind?
I'll put it like this: if it was anything other than, no, my doctor strongly advised I not play, then no, I would have liked to seen something else. I don't, again, preface, I don't have the information, but people blog in because they want to look. You can blast me in the comments, say I'm a scumbag. Like, you don't know what the kid's going through. I just admitted that. I don't know.
They always do that, don't they? You admit it, you still say you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But if it is not that he is really a major risk, yeah, I don't love the decision if those are the facts of the case. And I think I see the demographics of who watches the show. I think most of the viewers feel the same way.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I don't know, dude. I mean, I'm a guy who gets up and works literally every day sometimes. It doesn't matter, for 8 to 10 hours a day. Even when I'm in pain and I'm tired and I feel like crap, I just get up and do it because I got to do it. And like, I haven't had a day off since Thanksgiving. I'm not going to till mid-January. My schedule's that stupid. Maybe Christmas Day, maybe. So when I hear about things like this, I kind of like, really? Now, granted, I've never had generational money on the line. I get it. So, but kind of like Johnny, if anything other than that doctor saying, "Look, I wouldn't play," then I'd say, "Come on, dude, you're just being too cautious now." I mean, it puts in question the whole brotherhood idea. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that his doctor's really telling him, like, you this could be seriously implicating to your future if you keep messing with it. I'm going to go because I don't have any reason not to trust him. I've never seen him being a character issue or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and say I trust that there's at least, I'm sure there's some element of truth to what we said, but I'm going to trust that he's been advised you really shouldn't. So, okay, fine. I'll give you that. So, anyway, so guys, comment in the comments. Comment JSN to say you support him at first time as a Buckeye. And we do support him at first time as a Buckeye. He contributed a lot to Ohio State, and he is a big reason why we finished strong last season. No question about it. I support.
And then real quick, Corey, we got to wrap it up. We're way over time here, and let me know if you think he's being injured or cautious. And also, give this video a like if you do believe that Marvin Harrison Jr. will surpass JSN's legacy. And really quick rumor, Corey. Henderson might miss Peach Bowl surgery on his foot. I've heard that from someone who's been right before. No one's right all the time, but someone who's been right before. They weren't emphatic about it, but they kind of said this, indicates what they were hearing. Take it for what it's worth.
Throw this out there. Ryan Day follows Johnny on Twitter.
Yeah, that's who it was. It's totally Ryan. RD is like besties. Yeah. Hi, Ryan.
All right, Johnny, send us out, brother.
All right, guys. Come back next video. We're going to talk about Kevin Wilson taking the Tulsa job. We love you guys. As always, goodbye. God bless. Comment a lot and get your mug. Go Bucks.